Hello everyone, and welcome to a new Let's Play with me, your host Tim. And today, we'll be trying Crying Suns together. There will be some prep here that you can skip by going down to the comment section down below, where there will be a pinned link from me, or a comment, which will have a timestamp in it, allowing you to jump ahead where we actually start playing the game, in case you don't want to hear me talk about Crying Suns for maybe a few minutes. I can't imagine this will take very long, because I've never played Crying Suns before, and I have not seen any videos on it, so I know nothing about Crying Suns other than what the Steam reviews had said about this game, and that is that it seems to be some sort of role-playing game roguelike game. So I'm imagining something similar to Faster Than Light, if not through playstyle, then through the idea that we go through several chapters, and if we fail, that's it. We then start over from the chapter 1 again and do the whole thing over again. So, that's all I got. I've checked my voice already, it seems to be coming out okay. So I think we're okay to go ahead and just leap right into this game. As for why I'm playing it, I'm going through my backlog of games. I have some almost 300 games that I've never played on Steam and GOG. And that's disgusting. I spent all that money. So I'm going to start going through my backlog. So let's try Crying Suns and see what it's like. Time for a new run then, I suppose. Hey everyone, a small interruption from the future before we go ahead and see what happens to me after I hit new run. There's a lot of reading that's going to be happening in the game, a lot of it, and I love it. I like the lore that I have already spent some time trying to understand with the game. You can expect me to read everything. I'm really going to read every single thing that I can, and I'm going to try to find out as much about the world we find ourselves in as possible. So, I really felt I wanted to get that across as well. Alright, and now we're going to go ahead and hit new run. Where am I? A dwarf planet on the outer rim. Most call it Gehenna, if they call it anything at all. This, Admiral, is a top-secret cloning facility for the Imperial Forces, the one and only of its kind. I am Caliban, its Omni Guardian. I don't understand. You have died, Admiral, or, to put it another way, the true version of you has died. You are his clone, identical to the original Ellis Idaho in every possible way, with some minor differences. When did Admiral Idaho die? How? Unfortunately, I do not know the details of my clones' lives, as interesting as they must be. Extraneous to my directives, I believe. Which leads me to why I've awoken you. You must be curious, after all. I need your help. A machine asking for my help. Now I truly feel strange. Not just a machine, Admiral. An Omni. Short for Omni-Mechanical Neo-N Intelligence. Emperor Oberon invented us. Now your kind relies on us for just about everything. I'll come right out with it. I believe the Empire is in danger. In danger? What in the name of Oberon are you talking about? Once every 4 years, under the most secretive of protocols, I receive a single transmission from Elysium, a capital. Those transmissions stopped arriving. So, you send a transmission yourself. I don't see the problem. That's just it. I can't. This facility was built in such a way to prevent it from initializing contact with the Empire, to help keep it a secret. Something is wrong. I am certain of it. And I've awoken you so that we can fly out of here, in an Omega-class battleship no less, and see for ourselves. We. I believe you'll find my intelligence indispensable for our mission, Admiral. I don't have your kind's limitations. If you're so smart, what do you need me for? Why don't you command a battleship? Because of Oberon's Rubicon. It prohibits Omnis from commanding battleships. War is a human prerogative. Also, since I can assume the clones here are the best of the best, that would make you the best Imperial Admiral to ever exist. I'd say you're perfect for the job. I'll do it, machine. For Oberon and the Empire, it's my duty as an Imperial Admiral. Excellent! Now, just one more thing. Standing operating procedure requires I ask. Can you recall any of your emotional memories? Emotional memories. Any memory linked to a strong emotion, like love or hate. These memories, because of their complex neural pathways, will be a bit trickier for you to access, I'm afraid. I'm not sure. Then, if you would do me the honor of trying to recall one, any emotional memory will do. I can't. So much is blurred. Broken apart. Don't worry, Admiral. Perfectly normal for this stage. You'll find rational memories, on the other hand, those linked to Idaho's training and combat experience, almost immediately accessible. Just ask if you need a refresher. Lastly, and this is important, if these emotional memories return, rather, when they return, you must tell me immediately. It's important for your safety. Yes, your safety. Do you understand? I understand. Perfect. Now, let's wake up the rest of the crew, shall we? We don't have a moment to waste, and please, Admiral. What is it now, machine? Call me Caliban. Gehenna Battleship Omega Crafter Interface. We are playing with the Excelsior class, I suppose. Holy crap, I wasn't expecting such a big amount of options to be presented to me right at the start of the game, and I'm instantly overwhelmed. But I don't think I have any points, so I can't select anything here. It looks like I can up... Okay, so this must be future... The filled in must be what I possess already on this ship. The empty white must be potential unlocks I do with experience. And the X'd are marked out because of this battleship is unable to acquire those upgrades, is my guess. Fighters, frigates, drones, with some damaged drones here. We have a single weapon and no officers. No auxiliary systems. And I'm going to play on normal, although part of me is tempted to play on easy, it being my first time. I think that might do us all a disfavor though, so we will try normal to start. Let's go ahead and choose our officers like it wants us to do. Oh wow, so there's a whole lot here I should have probably read, or I'm getting the feeling I should have probably played the game once before recording it, but it's way too late. So, alright, let's take a look here. So officers have a name, they have hit points, so that means that they can probably be engaged in combat or take life damage through other means. They have a special ability as well, and they have some special skills. So, I think I would like one person who's good at fighting, and someone who's good at something miscellaneous. So, let's take Thiago Gonzalez to start. A soldier, 6 hit points, has thrusters boost, squadron speed plus 25%, and she has fight and demolition as skills. And then I think we'll choose someone who's more miscellaneous next. So, I guess we'll try Tariq Miner. He's famous. Shop price when sold 3 times 3.5? Okay, so we get 3 times 5, I guess, worth the cost of whatever item we're selling. Doesn't have anything that applies to our ship. He has persuasion. Or sorry, he? Has persuasion and sharp senses. Okay. What does info tell me? Okay, whatever. I should really probably be paying attention to this. A quick glance seems like we'll be able to beam down on a planet, and that's where we use these skills on. And the system compatibility lets us engage, I guess, in ship-to-ship battles or what have you. Okay, well, we're all set. So, let's start. Chapter 1, Echoes, Sector 1 of 3. These are the sectors of the Outer Rim, Admiral. The farthest sectors from the capital that there are. If there ever was a wasteland in the Empire, this would be it. Strange. I'm not picking up any other Omnis. Even out here, I should be picking up dozens of them. Let's try not to overreact, machine. It's probably nothing. The Empire has run flawlessly for how many years now? 700. And it will do so for hundreds more. Now come on. Let's take a look around. So I'm immediately getting faster than light vibes, where we start here and we'll be traveling all the way out to the right without being able to double back, or there's going to be some sort of time limit stopping us from doing so. We have an anomaly here. Anomaly signals are the riskiest events you'll encounter, offering very positive or very negative outcomes. You won't know which type of event it is, negative or positive, until arriving at the signal's source. And it looks like we have one here, so why not? We get thrown into this immediately. Oh, these must be the... Okay. This must be a bunch of stuff which is at this location. Celbaron must be a planet or the star system here. Celbaron AQ302. That must be the planet. Kern Sigma looks like that's some sort of port or space station. Celebron CB141 must be another asteroid or planet. Ramza 3 has a secret military base on it. Interesting. Let's go. What do we have here, Lieutenant? It appears to be some kind of cube. Like refinery, sir. It's a Neo-N hypercube, Omnitech for the simultaneous harvesting and refining of neutronium from nearby stars. Interesting, if not downright bizarre. This cube isn't connected to the fold net. How could that be? And why aren't there hypercube Omnis trying to reconnect it as I speak? Certain things are still blurry to me, machine. What do you want to know, Admiral? Tell me about Neo-N. Hundreds of years ago, pre-Omni times, the first advanced machines discovered the existence of the final element, neutronium, which exists usually, but not always, in stars. Neutronium is extremely volatile in its natural state, but these advanced machines stabilized and improved upon it, providing the most powerful and longest-lasting energy source yet. Neo-Neutronium, or Neo-N. Neo-N, in turn, allowed these first machines to create an even more advanced machine, the Omni, an acronym for Omni-Mechanical, Neo-N Intelligence. But I thought you told me Oberon invented the Omnis. I did. You're absolutely right. But technically, it's not entirely true. Oberon invented the first advanced machines, which in turn, thanks in part to their creation of Neo-N, invented the Omnis. Neo-N, in its refined state, is the perfect energy source, stable and almost boundless in its energy yield. As a result, it's used in just about all omnitech, as humans stopped inventing tech hundreds of years ago. Lastly, what's important about Neo-N is that our very own battleship, the NS Odysseus, uses it. And without it, we can't go anywhere. What do you want to know, Admiral? Tell me more about the FoldNet. As you probably recall by now, Admiral, the Omnis have invented and managed Imperial tech more or less since the dawn of the Empire. The FoldNet, arguably our greatest achievement, forms the backbone of the Empire. Think of it as a global galactic network, allowing instant data and/or matter transmissions through its numerous interconnected folders and beacons. And without the constant vigilance and management of FoldNet Omnis, none of it would be possible, and humanity would live in a fragmented, chaotic darkness. Needless to say, it's important. What do you want to know, Admiral? Oh, what can you tell me about the FoldNet beacons? The beacons, which we'll most likely encounter on our journey, function as repeaters, amplifying all FoldNet data transmission throughout the clusters. Beacons allow all Empire citizens, even if they live out here on the Outer Rim, and are, for all intents and purposes, socially and culturally irrelevant, to receive and send information in the galaxy instantly. Oberon believes that everyone has the right to instantaneous information and materials in his sectors. Quite debatable, if you ask me. What do you want to know, Admiral? So this sounds like the Dune idea of folding space. Imagine that you're an ant, and you're on a piece of paper, and that piece of paper has been folded thousands of times. If you unfold it, that ant would be moved from where it was to some other location, perhaps millions of miles away, depending upon the size of the paper. Ask about the folders. Folders? Let me see if I can explain this to you in a way that you could possibly understand. In the early days of the Empire, at a speed of 100 times that of light speed, the Intersys offered the fastest space travel available. It was at first, don't get me wrong, but traveling from cluster to cluster could still take decades. To assist Empire administration, and just because we could, the Omnis invented a means to travel from 2 points in space instantaneously. The folders. Yes. Each folder, several kilometers across, is linked or paired with another folder through the process of... This is going to be really difficult to explain to a non-quantum computing entity. Essentially, all you need to know is that these paired folders collapse or fold space for a very brief amount of time so as to join 2 points in space previously unjoined. Without the folders, Oberon could never have grown his empire, nor kept it together for the 700 years that he has. Each folder is run by an Omni. These Omnis are clearly known as folder Omnis. Cleverly known as that. Without them, the folders simply cannot work. Lastly, in order to reach Elysium, the Empire's capital, on our journey, we will have to use several folders. But why can't we just teleport to Elysium directly? We are deep in the Outer Rim. The few folders paired with Elysium will be found only in the very important hubs. We'll need to reach those first. What do you want to know, Admiral? The Intersice? The Intersice is another Omni invented tech, one of the first great inventions, and one developed long before the folders. With their how do I say this? I can't pronounce this. Intercessional tech, the Omnis created an empty space dimension between the ones you know, what we call a tunnel, where the universal light speed behaves, let's say, differently. In an interstitial tunnel, it's possible to reach up to 100 times the speed of light, a speed that allowed your kind to colonize their nearest stars. However, interstitial travel still has its limitations. For example, at this speed, it would take you 750 years to travel from one end of the Empire to the other, a period of time greater than the age of the Empire itself. Hence the need for folders. However, the interstice is sufficient when traveling intra-cluster, and within that cluster's sectors. What do you want to know, Admiral? That's enough for now, machine. What do you want to know about this hypercube, Admiral? Send a small team to investigate the cube. Captain Lynch, form a small squadron. Fly around the cube and tell me what you see. On it, sir. Sir, the Omni was right. The cube isn't connected to the full net, and by the looks of it, hasn't been connected in years. Just a guess here, but I'd say it looks like it's been disconnected for maybe 10, 15 years. 10 or 15 years. At least, sir, could the Empire have, I don't know, disconnected it on purpose? I don't think so, Admiral. I am not a cube Omni myself, but cubes are complex tech needing constant supervision. Disconnecting it would make that all but impossible. And the Neo-N levels? Empty, sir. There's no Neo-N here, whatsoever. Looks like whoever came before us took all of it. We won't be fueling here. The reserves might be empty, but there could still be some residual Neo-N coursing through the cube. I should be able to unlock this final restraint so that we can scavenge the leftovers. It won't be much, but it will help our efforts. There. We should be able to scavenge Neo-N fuel here now, but that'll be the last of it in this cube. All suns have a Neo-N cube where you have a chance to scavenge some precious leftover fuel. Well, let's do it. We got one neon fuel recharged. Should I call it neon or Neo-N? I kind of like neon. We'll switch over to neon. All right, so I'm going to quickly check out my recording, everyone, because I've had time now to talk with the music and the volume in the game. I'll be right back again. Oh! Hey everyone, okay, so I quit back out to the main menu and quit the game, and I checked my volume and I lowered the in-game music and sounds just a tad more. But upon relaunching the game, it's going to make me re-scavenge again. On the off chance this, I hope it doesn't give me anything different, but we're going to go ahead and click this. Oh. Okay. Okay, so from now on, instead of hitting a button to get a result and then quitting after that, I'm going to get to the next event if I need to quit the game, because I do not want to cheat, as it were. I really wish I just got one fuel here, but now I've learned a little bit more about the game. Alright, so let's pull up our local system map and see what's inside how do I say this? Celebron. It makes me nervous. I'm not very lucky. I'm not a lucky person, everyone. So I kind of don't know if I want to go check out on the anomaly. So, the first thing we arrived at was near the sun, where we drained the neon deposit there. Oh, sorry, the neon cube. So let's go to Celebron AQ 302 next. And well, first, what is this? We have 6 fuel, 45 scrap, and 12 commandos. Sir, battleship, 12 o'clock. What kind of battleship, Lieutenant? Couldn't say, sir. I've never seen a ship like this in all my service. Incoming transmission. An Imperial battleship made from Telostech. My mouth is watering. This is Admiral Idaho of the Imperial Fleet. Stand down, Captain. This is an Imperial sector you find yourself in. Imperial sector? That's funny. Battle is imminent. Good luck, Admiral. Please be turn-based and let me pause this, because if this is real time, it can go really quick. You can deploy your officers during fights. Some officers have special abilities that can boost specific systems. All officers can also repair critical effects sustained by any system. There are 3 systems: squadron, weapons, and hull. So be careful where you deploy your officers. Squadrons are essential to protect your battleship and destroy an enemy. To deploy your squadrons, click the plus sign. Okay, so we're going to be doing that. Use your weapons to gain a decisive advantage on the battlefield. Weapons can be deployed by clicking the plus sign on an empty dock. Which the game's not letting me do immediately. Your neurocom can also accelerate your thoughts to a point where time appears totally still. Press space to enter, exit from pause. Perfect. Okay. So we're paused to start. So I think we do want to assign an officer to this. And we have... Wait, who is this? No, I don't want Tariq. I want Thygo Gonzalez, who can make my squadrons fly faster. And I guess we will deploy the fighter. Our second bay cannot be used at the moment. Okay, that's fine. We don't have someone I can put in the hull at the moment. And the other officer I have is not really good with guns. But we might as well, I guess we'll deploy the gun. Oh, that's interesting. Hold on. Piercer Laser MK1 has a 22-second delay. The impact zone. I guess it only hits the area I click on. No other AoE. We have fighters, and that's it. Alright, so... do I click on these? So they deployed some drones, and I deployed some fighters. Massive damage bonus versus frigates. And our fighters, massive damage bonus against drones. Perfect. So, how do I do this? I want to move you here. And my gun is powering up still. Nice! Hey! Holy crap, we defeated those drones. Let's go after their weapon systems next. Actually, we'll exchange weapons fire with them. Let's go after the hull and try to destroy the ship as quick as possible. If I click on... can I guess I can't really fire until I'm off cooldown. Weapon is ready to fire. Your weapon is finished charging and is ready to fire. Click on it and choose a target on the battlefield to deal damage to your enemies. Okay, so that's how we do it. Alright, I've learned. Victory. Good job, Admiral. Here's a summary of the battle. We gained 59 scrap. What was that thing? I don't know, Lieutenant. And I'm not sure I want to, either. Game looks amazing. That was fantastic. Holy crap. Can I explore the salvage behind it? Or maybe it was just guarding that. Containers. Locked. I guess I can't open the containers because I don't have an officer that can do so. So we gained scrap from the battle, but that was all we gained. Well, let's go to Kern Sigma next then. Oh yeah, the other areas are actually locked. I can't go to them yet. Okay. then we go here. An Imperial outpost, sir. It seems abandoned. Any heat signatures? Not a single one. Seems empty of all human life. What about an omnipresence? They should be here managing the station, no? They should. And no, I'm not detecting any. This is getting stranger and stranger. Oh, what can you tell me about this outpost machine? Seems to be just your run-of-the-mill Imperial outpost, Admiral. There are outposts in all Imperial sectors. With the capital, Elysium, so far away, they help keep the peace and maintain order. You must show your military might so that you don't have to use it, I believe is the thinking. But there's definitely no military might here. Oh, what do you want to know? Anything else about this outpost? Send a team of commandos into the outpost for a closer look. Captain Lean, form a small team and check it out. You got it, sir. Sir, the outpost is empty. Seems it was abandoned years ago. If I had to guess, probably around the time that hypercube back there was disconnected from the fold net. Looks like someone came here, took the most valuable Omni parts, neon encapsulators, poistronic chips, and left the rest behind. Scavenging Omni parts. Who would do such a thing? That's a capital offense. The one Pragma execute you for. Hold on, sir. I'm getting a transmission. My commandos have found something. An Omni, intact from top to bottom. Is it functional? That's a negative, sir. It was in a lower level. Guess whoever was here before didn't go down that far. Might have needed high clearance to get in. Admiral, I can examine it from here if Captain plugs the datapad into the exosoc. Sure thing, Omni. Okay, accessing the Omni's mainframe. And? Strange. Its exoframe is perfectly intact. It has plenty of neon, and its positronic chip seems to be in place. It should be up and running. I don't get it. Any idea when it shut down? According to its chip, 20 years ago. Roughly the time the hypercube was unlinked from the fold net. What do you want to do about this outpost, Admiral? I have some questions, Machine. What do you want to know? Can you reactivate the Omni, Caliban? Unfortunately, no. Only Omni owners can do that. Besides, this Omni isn't just in sleep mode, it's been shut down. And what is a positronic chip? Is it another Omni invention, I'm guessing? Actually, no. Your kind invented this, as incredible as that is. Specifically, Emperor Oberon. The positronic chip serves several purposes. 1, it contains the Rubicon. And 2, it dictates Omni functionality. My functions are specific to Gehenna, and as such are different from my functions of other Omnis, whether they be Imperial Outpost Omnis like the Omni here, Folder Omnis, Cube Omnis, Medical Omnis, Teacher Omnis, or the hundreds of other kinds of Omnis that exist in the Empire. Lastly, the positronic chip gives Omnis quantum computing capabilities. It's what allows us to be so much smarter than you. Positronic chips are produced and distributed near Elysium. Of course, that's by design, so that Oberon can closely monitor the positronic quota. Simply put, without a positronic chip, an Omni is little more than its exoframe. What else do you want to know? Tell me more about the Rubicon. The Rubicon is a set of rules enforced at a very low level, ensuring that Omnis don't harm humans and don't deviate from their missions. Suppose an Omni disobeyed its Rubicon. What would happen then? Well, that is quite rare, but unfortunately there are examples of this occurring in the early days. But if that happens, then the chip would deactivate and trigger a self-termination feature in the Omni. Omnis Suicide. It's just a feature, Admiral. A rarely activated feature. You mentioned a positronic quota. Yes. So as to maintain perpetual harmony in the Empire, Oberon created a quota. Depending upon your house and whether it's minor or major, you receive a certain number of chips every 10 years. Who received the most chips? House Telos, of course. Oberon's house. Our house. And the fewest? One of the minor houses. The Vicarelli. They have a pitiful quota. Embarrassing, really. I'd hate to be a Vicarelli only. What do you want to know? I know enough for now, Machine. It could be a good time to take a break. I agree. What do you want to know about this outpost, Admiral? Now, what do you want to do about this outpost, Admiral? I'm a little worried that if we hail the outpost, something will know we've tried. We've already sent some commandos over here. We'll make all the mistakes. Try to make contact with the outpost. Lieutenant, see if you can make contact with someone, human or not, inside. Of course, Admiral. Sorry, sir. If there's anyone inside, they're not answering. Okay, Machine, I'll admit it. Something is wrong, at least in the Outer Rim. I don't want to further worry you, but our battleship's heuristics are detecting an anomaly at our next destination. Oh, we use a neon fuel every time we go to a planet. Okay. Could we just jump to the... Do we have to go here? Oh, interesting. Okay, so we can't go back. We can't re-interact with the location that we are currently at, and we must move forward through each point of interest in a system. It's one of those creatures again, sir. Maybe this one will be friendly. Nice ship you got there. I'm gonna enjoy scrapping it over your dead bodies. You're going down, whatever you are. Battle is imminent. Good luck. Each basic squadron type, frigates, drones, and fighters, is best suited to fight against a particular squadron, providing it with a massive damage bonus if properly matched. Be sure to find out a unit's strength and weaknesses before deploying it. Stop. So, they have fighters they're deploying, so we should not deploy ours. Next. I think, yep, we want our frigates, because these do massive damage bonus versus fighters. Oh, that's interesting. The frigates, we deploy them out in a certain spot. Let's deploy them here. Our gun is powering up. All right, frigates. You know we're going to intercept you. Nice, well done. Our frigates are a little damaged, though. And now we focus on their hull. It takes a while to get there. Oh, interesting. The squadrons are... They're going to send out another group of them. Can we hail them to make them surrender? I don't think we can. Good job, Admiral. Here's a summary of the battle. We've gained some more fighters, MK1. Though we had yet another brush with death, at least our scanner detected the anomaly this time. Tell me more about these anomalies, machine. Anomalies are destinations with a higher than normal probability of being very negative or very positive. Unfortunately, we don't know what kind of outcome to expect until we arrive at the source's signal. You could say investigating anomaly signals is a bit of a gamble. Good to know. Come on, there's got to be someone around here who can tell us what's going on. Encountered anomaly. Main mission. Improves Watcher's reparation time while in hangar by minus 50%. Are my ships still damaged from the earlier battles? That looks good to me. I'm going to take them out, though. I don't want them starting to deploy if I don't want to use them against the enemy. Alright, so... back to system map. So, I get the feeling this is the tutorial system as well. This way, we get one of every type of event. So it looks like secret military base on a planet. That sounds like an away mission that we'll be doing. So, let's also take out my officer. Let's also lower the volume of my phone. Alright, let's go to the secret military base. There would appear to be a small colony on this planet, Admiral. Maybe we can finally get some answers. I'm also detecting a ground signal, roughly 1,000 kilometers from the colony. Could be worth investigating with an expedition. Hello, is anyone there? This is Admiral Ellis Idaho of the Imperial Fleet. I am Tygan Bowie, leader of my small colony. What can we do for you, Admiral? If it's scrap you're looking for, I'm sorry, but we have none to spare. Scrap? We're here to find out what's going on in these sectors. I don't understand. We have yet to encounter a single active Omni, and 2 enemy battleships have engaged us. Is this some sort of sick joke, Admiral? The Omnis shut down. Impossible. The Omnis shut down in our sectors, and when they did, so did all their tech. It can't run without them. How? When? I have no idea how it happened. I'm not even sure Oberon does. It's truly the great mystery of our time. As for when, 20 years ago, we relied on them for everything. Food, medicine, weather. It's hard to give accurate numbers, but maybe 75% of the population here died in the first 5 years alone. Now, who knows how many of us are left? 10%? Less? You mentioned something called scrap. Can you tell me more about this? Well, now that the Omnis have been inactive for so long, Imperial Sol, the former currency, no longer holds value of any sort. The only thing that does is scrap, remnants of Omnitech. Its metals, ship materials, and neon, our energy source. As Omnitech becomes scarcer and scarcer, which it has over the last 20 years, its value has appreciated, causing people to act in increasingly desperate and violent ways to get it. That's why scrappers want to destroy your ship so much. It's so they can collect its broken down parts and sell them, just so they can prolong their miserable lives. But it's not just the scrappers and the pirates who desire this stuff. It's just that most of us common folk aren't willing to kill for it, at least not yet. Is there something else you want to know, Admiral? What can the NS Odysseus do to help? Defeating the scrappers would be a nice start. Things would look a whole lot better with those scum out of the way. The scrappers. Don't tell me you don't know about them either. It's like you've been living this entire time on an uninhabited planet on the edge of the Outer Rim. The Scrappers are a group of hideous, irradiated scavengers who collect leftover Omnitech and Neon. When the Omni shut down, causing the full net to collapse in our sector, they were the ones who took over in the chaos. They're not the only rotten apples around here, with your pirates and your occasional crazy civilian, but they're definitely the worst. They defeated the Imperial ships. How? Telos tech is second to none. Imperial captains are trained at the Academy. True, but the Scrapper battleships wore them down. Picked off one here, another there. It was a war of attrition. I'm puffing into the microphone, everyone. I'm going to move my microphone to the side so I don't do that. Plus, the Empire couldn't send reinforcements. Not with our folder net down, you see. I hate to say it. I think it's just a matter of time before they make slaves of us all. But even if you beat them, even if you beat Mother, it won't change anything. The way we're going 10, 15 years from now, with all the hardships we're experiencing, we'll be gone. All of us. Unless... Unless what? You somehow reactivate the Omnis. Turn them back on again. The ones that haven't been scavenged for their parts, that is. That's the only way to save us. Is there something else you want to know, Admiral? But how can we turn them back on? You're asking the wrong guy, I'm afraid. As I said, no one knows who or what shut them down. You'll have to solve that mystery on your own. And once you do, you'll still have to find a way to turn them back on, which might be another thing altogether. But where should we start? I hate to say it, but Mother is probably your best bet. I mean, she benefited the most from them shutting down in this cluster, didn't she? Then again, there are a lot of theories out there about who or what is responsible for this. Is there something else you want to know, Admiral? What is Mother? You really don't want to know, Admiral. For some reason, that's what they call her. Their leader, Mother, Mom, Mommy. It's all very... upsetting. From what I gather, she was the one who started the Scrappers, fostering a punk, nihilistic scavenging philosophy among their sordid ranks. And who makes up her ranks? Former Imperial prisoners, I think. The worst of the worst. When the Omni shut down, the prisoners escaped from their Omni-run prisons and psychiatric stations. Mother loves her tech, especially House Telos tech, like the battleship you have. I say Telos, that's Telos? And she and the Boyles who work for her will kill you for it and enjoy doing it too. She's been terrorizing these sectors for years now, enslaving men and women to bolster her numbers and make them into her playthings and baby makers, she calls them. Tell me more about the Scrappers who work for Mother and control these sectors. Each sector is controlled by one of Mother's cronies. You'll recognize them by their freakish mutations brought on by their exposure to too much neon. But I sincerely hope you don't see them, because if you do, well, you usually don't live to tell about it. It's not the bravest thing to do, but I'll say it again, hide. Make yourself inconspicuous, Admiral, and if you're lucky, you'll live another 10 or 15 years. Is there something else you want to know about these Scrapper scum? Playthings and baby makers. You don't want to know who they are, but since you asked, the playthings are Mother's sex slaves, and the baby makers are, you know, what she uses to make babies. Make babies. Scrappers often die young from their exposure to neon, as they should, thank Oberon to that. Mother uses her baby makers to keep the Scrapper numbers growing. She supposedly has breeding stations spread throughout these sectors. Frankly, I can't imagine a worse place. We'll do everything we can to stop these monsters, you have my word. Is there something else you want to know about these Scrapper scum? Did she do it? Is Mother the reason the Omni shut down in these sectors? I doubt this person knows, Admiral. Like I said before, Admiral, I couldn't say. But if she didn't do it, I'd wager some serious scrap she knows who did. But I don't recommend asking her, Admiral. I don't recommend getting anywhere near her for that matter. Frankly, Mother terrifies me. Is there something else you want to know about these Scrapper scum? I don't need to know any more about this. I don't blame you. It's not exactly for the faint of heart. Is there something else you want to know, Admiral? Did we ask about this already? What theories have you heard about the shutdown? I've heard a few, Admiral. Even in the times of starvation, people like to gossip. Probably the most popular around here is that the omnivirus theory, which is that somehow the Omnis got some kind of machine virus that spread quickly and ultimately shut them down. But that theory doesn't hold water for me. Why not? It doesn't explain how or why they all shut down at the same time, which, you know, they seemingly did around here. One moment they were working, doing what they've always done, making your lives easier, and the next, they weren't. I don't know of any virus that can do that. Do you? What other theories have you heard? Well, after that, you've got your less credible theories, such as... Well, you've got your Omni mass suicide theory that states that the Omnis, upset at their role in the Empire, somehow found a way to shut themselves down, to kill themselves because they no longer wanted to live. Then you've got your Omni rapture theory, which is that the Omnis left this realm to go to a heavenly realm. This theory is popular among certain fringe religious groups. Whack jobs, if you ask me. And last but not least, you've got your alien shutdown theory, which is that hostile aliens from another galaxy, or is it another dimension, shut down all of our Omnis so they could easily conquer us. The big problem with that theory is that, as far as I know, the hostile aliens never showed up. And what do you think? Me? I think we should never have become so dependent on the things in the first place. That's what I think. Is there something else you want to know, Admiral? I was thinking that same thing. You mentioned something called scrapped. Can you tell me more about this? Oh, okay. Let's see. Hold space or left click. So, alright, so these don't get grade. We can just ask about this over and over again, but we're done. I promise, in the name of Oberon, we'll take care of these scrappers and get your Omnis up and running again. You say that, Admiral, but you'll fail, or you'll stop trying sooner or later, or worse yet, you'll die. But take this neon, Admiral. We have plenty at the moment. I have a feeling you'll need it. And, like I said, I know it's not the bravest thing to do, but it's best if you hide. You'll live longer that way. 4 neon. End of transmission, sir. Do you believe what he said, Admiral? Unfortunately, yes. It explains everything we've been seeing so far. The Omni shut down in the Outer Rim, and so did their tech, including this cluster's folder. That's why those scrappers now run things here. So what do we do now, sir? First thing we need to do is find this mother. As Bowie said, if she didn't shut the Omnis down, chances are she knows who or what did. If you want to move on, Admiral, open the star map below by clicking on it and choosing our next system. Otherwise, you might want to stay and check out this ground signal I was telling you about. Could be a good opportunity to gather some resources and put your commandos to use. Now that you've learned the basics, your second dock has been unlocked. Remember to make good use of it while commanding your squadrons. The numerical advantage is often a turning point in battle. You can access the expedition dashboard here. So, we need 3 commandos, and we have at least 3. Let's try this as well, and then we'll call the session, having done the tutorial sector, I suppose. This is the number of commandos sent on the expedition. Minimum requirement for commandos is 3. The maximum number of commandos will be sent, up to 10, if you have enough of them. The more you send, the better your chances for success. This section displays the types of artifacts you will have a chance to collect during the expedition. Each type will always yield the same kind of reward. This section displays the types of major threats, exceptionally dangerous situations your team will face during the expedition. Be careful about those. Ground distress signals displays a number of possible retreats your team will have during the expedition. Officer's survival represents the chance your leading officer has to return safely. Healthy officers have a chance to come back injured. Injured officers have a chance to die. An injured or dead officer will abort the mission, forcing the team to retreat to the ship without loot. The resource extraction meter represents the minimum and maximum percent of encountered resources, artifacts included, that your team has a chance to bring back with them to your ship if the leading officer survives the expedition. The commando survival meter represents the chances your commandos have to return safely. It displays the minimum and maximum possible number of commandos that will not make it back to your ship. Oh, alright, okay, so we have to choose one officer. So if we choose Thego Gonzalez, the officer will survive. We will gain between 13 and 59% of the resources in the mission, and we'll lose between 3 and 9 commandos. If we choose instead Tariq Munir, we'll return safely. We'll extract 56 to 77% of the available resources, and we won't lose any commandos. Why? Is that because of sharp senses? Must be what he's going to benefit from. Okay, well, let's do it then. According to this, we won't lose anybody. Our officer will survive, and we'll gain more resources. So I can't think of why we wouldn't want to assign him. Is there a reason why I wouldn't have less mass commandos on the mission? I can't... Oh, I see. So we always send the max, which is always 10. And if we had less than 10, then our chances would be lower. We could still do it. All right, let's do. By the way, I really like the idea that we're the admiral and we get to watch all our actions. Reminds me a little bit of this one real-time strategy game I played called Nexus as well, where you're the commander of your ship and you send out your boarding teams and what have you, and you get to hear what they see, but you're not commanding them themselves. Lieutenant, Caliban's detected an artifact on this planet that could be helpful to our mission. We have a good idea of where it is, but we'll need you and a team of commandos on the ground to find and extract it. We'll have visuals, but space-to-ground communication will be minimal. We can't risk giving away the location of our battleship or exposing you to potential local threats. Only contact us when it's secure to do so, and I'll decide if an emergency retreat is necessary. Of course, any additional resources you encounter should be extracted too. Now get going. Our shuttle's waiting for you and the commandos. And good luck down there. Thank you, sir. Danger. Danger avoided. Must have been a patrol team. We got some scrap. Locating it. Failed the hack check. Nothing found there. Alright, so, I'm guessing what happened is that we arrived, we had some local forces, and our forces were significantly stronger than them. So Tariq Munir basically explained that they're all gonna die horribly if they even try to fight us, and they retreated or decided to let us pass. Being unable to find any resources themselves here, or finally giving up the ghost and just getting away, running back to wherever they came from. We then found some scrap in a hidden bunker. Maybe, I guess, that patrol that we talked down were actually some, not rebels, but they were traitors to the military base, and that had been supplies that they had moved from the military base to that local cache, which we found anyway. Advancing forward, we found, I guess, some supplies they left behind that they couldn't carry, and that were also secured by that security system, and Tariq was unable to hack through it, so he himself left that behind. And now we're here. Threat signal okay. The line is secured. Admiral, you've seen our bio readouts. What do you think? Should we continue with the mission? Absolutely. Everyone's perfectly fine. Keep going. Holy crap! Okay, so it looks like we were just able to bluff or brute force our way through by talking, rather than doing any actual combat. We didn't even have to fire a single rifle round the entire time. The personnel we encountered here were all probably retreating out of this base. Nothing worthwhile was in it any longer. We also found some additional scrap, however, while we were on the way, being able to recognize, I suppose, some things left behind, but we didn't discover anything in the secret military base. And that also probably explains why it was so easy getting here. There was nothing here. The forces we encountered, there was no reason for them to even fight us. And taunting them or threatening them was enough to make them realize that, you know what, we're not guarding anything worthwhile. So, go right ahead. Here's the military base right up ahead of you. And go there and pillage all you like. Oh, I guess now we're getting to the extraction site. Okay. We found a little more resources. Someone had gone to investigate, I guess, the pod which had dropped down, but we were able to even scare them away, and that was it. Alright, well done. We didn't find whatever artifact was here, but we did gain 109 scrap. That basically doubles the scrap we had. The expedition team was able to return to the NS Odysseus. Odysseus? Why do I get the feeling this is easily pronounceable? I'm gonna have to look this up when I'm done with this. We got 109 scrap, yep. The star map button opens the current sector star map, where you can choose your next destination system. You've already sent an expedition to this planet. Yes, we did. Oh, this is a passive that we have. Okay. Gehenna's Tech. Improves squadron's reparation time while in the hangar by 50%. Alright. Oh my god! Each node represents a stellar system you can visit. Each interstitial jump to a neighboring system costs 1 neon. Each system contains different points of interest. Ground signal indicators show a system with a planetary expedition. Trading beacon indicators show a system where you can buy or repair equipment. Omniforge indicators show a system where you can improve the mark of your squadrons. Anomaly indicators show a system where there is a high risk and/or reward. Each time you jump, the current sector's rulers get more suspicious. Once the alert counter reaches 0, they will follow your tracks and try to find you. Being caught will result in a very difficult and unprofitable encounter. We can go to one location before the alert is given. I see. Okay, so... I think we'll go to... Selberon? Gee, is there an Omniforge anywhere here? No! There are no Omniforges. So we're not improving our fighters. Oh wow, this is sector 1 of 3. This entire thing. Holy crap, this is going to take a while. I like it. I like it. Alright, so I'm thinking we want as many counters as possible. So I think what I'm planning on doing is we go to Selberon. Wait, no, this is where we are. We're here? Oh, we're here. Okay, hold on. I was like, wait a minute. No, we're here. Oh, we can go back if we want. Interesting. Okay, well then, let's go to... I don't know what I think about this. I wonder where the enemy comes from. Well, let's begin making our way toward the exit. So, we'll go to... If I go to Tingara, that will open up all these other locations as potential places we can go to. Let's do it. We'll go to Tanagra. Incoming transmission. Visit our little station. It'll be worth your time, I promise. Well, that was strange. Alright, everyone, but I'm going to stop here. So, we'll begin exploring this system in the next one. And really... Can I stop here? Yes, I can. Okay. Alright, everyone, so I'm going to stop here. Thank you guys for watching. And when we pick back up, we'll do probably 2 or 3 of these sectors. And I'll see you guys then. Take care, everyone.